Hello everyone, my name is Circus. I have a particular past, and even more particular future. I am an agnostic pagan. I made this channel to share my insight on a spiritual lens, and all are welcome to join me. So I grew up Christian. I grew up believing in God, not just because I believe in God for myself, but because my entire family did. I looked up to my father, I looked up to the elders in my family, and they would talk about God on a regular basis, whether it be through some birthday or through some event, or even something that was just happening in real life, like political issues, or even someone died or whatever. They would have something to say about God as if they knew what God was, what he thought, and what he had to say. The denomination that I have in particular was Methodist. What a Methodist is kind of like a Protestant. Over the course of my life and with a lot of stuff I dealt with, between making a name for myself, trying to raise my own business, going to college, over the course of that time, my beliefs on almost everything changed. I've met people who influenced my life. I've met people who opened up my eyes. And I've seen plenty and plenty of content on YouTube that just questioned every single one of my beliefs. I went through something of akin of an existential crisis. I've had an existential crisis at least twice in my life right now. They were bad. I've dealt with alcoholism. I've dealt with some level of addictions, whether it be like drugs, porn, different types of substances. All in all, one day I just had enough. The pain was more than I could bear. I was suicidal for the longest amount of time. Till this day, some of that stuff still kind of lingers in the back of my mind, but it's very, very easy to get rid of it these days because of how far I've come. There's philosophies out there that I could say easily are the reason that my life has changed so much. It is these philosophies that, from my lens, I want to share with people so that maybe the word could go out. Spirituality for me is kind of a funny thing. I don't see it in a religious sense. I don't see it in a sense that's guided by Christianity. I see it as something that I discovered for myself through looking at things from a rational lens, I suppose, where I often tried to think, why would people believe in a certain thing? Or why would people follow a certain ideology? Is there a reason for it? Does it make people feel better? Does it improve their lives? And looking at it like from that perspective, it gained inside of me knowledge that I think supersedes or transcends all manner of like argumentation that we could have amongst one another, because these are core values that I believe everyone has. I don't think you could speak to anyone who can say that they legitimately want to be sad or they legitimately want to suffer. I believe that most people want, their own happiness, their own self-awareness and self-actualization. Achieving that for myself was the hardest journey I ever had in my life. It was harder than any interview I've ever had. It was even harder than any idea of, coming to face God or being in the face of God that I could experience for myself. Not that I could ever say that I would know what that's like. It just kind of feels that way. This spirituality that comes from a perspective of having viewed, studied, and looked at multiple sides, I believe comes to a certain core that most, if not everyone, could relate to. And I think it's about time as a society, brothers, we need to come together on this one. It's hard to find people to have all these conversations with, but it's certainly becoming easier. And around this time, with all the things that's going on around the world, I think people are really craving this information, and I'm going to try to be a part of it. Putting it out there, having people talk about it, because once we get started, I don't think there's anything that would ever be able to stop us. The information is already out there. The people who believe in it, who would do whatever they can to put it out there for others, just like I'm trying to do, they're just going to increase. And that's a good thing. I'm done.
Dude, that's a take. That's a wrap.
Think I have enough in there? I could go on for hours, honestly. But, then I'd be lecturing.